serve cold, but the Wolves and the Hawks never shiver in the snow. The Bulls keep it running, the Sox run the South, the Cubs run the North, but the Bears run the house. True Chicago sports fans got their ears to the street. Any team make a move and they never skip a beat. And in this house, this is where we be. Welcome to the show with E-Roc and Big-Z.
Welcome to Chicago. Coming from the True Chicago Sports Fan Cave, this is the TCSF podcast with your host, E-Roc and Big-Z.
Yeah.
Episode 43 is brought to you by 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, and Grit Clothing Company. Don't forget to check out gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt. Search for the keyword True Chicago. Use our promo code TrueFan15 at the checkout for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15 at the checkout for 15% off your entire order. Get your shirts now.
Go get it.
Go get them. As always, I'm Biggs here, and I'm here with my boy, my co-host.
Oh, now we're boys. Now we're boys.
E-Roc.
How many times we looked at the same thing and it was like, oh, I'm here with my co-host. Not a dude that I've known for like most of my life at this point. No, it ain't that. It's this is just my co-host. That's all. No, this is my boy. We're friends, right?
Yeah. You're not the... Never mind. I can't say that. I can't say it on this show.
All right. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in. If you are a first-timer or a long-timer, please remember to hit that subscribe button, that notify button, and go ahead and give us 5 stars on your listening app of choice. And don't forget, you can support the show at anchor.fm/True Chicago Sports Fans/support. Today, we have a 3-headed monster in the house. That's right. We have the 3-man booth for y'all today. Please give a big TCSF welcome to today's guest co-host, my boy, MIC LOGIK.
Hey. What up, E-Roc Big-Z?
What up?
What is going on?
I'm finally live in studio. We don't have to do this stupid Zoom thing.
Look, you are the very first in-studio co-host.
That's right.
And guest and everything. It's great. Listen up. Tell me, both y'all, how was your week?
All right, well, let the guest go in first.
Oh, it was a great week, and we're going to talk about it throughout this show.
No, it's definitely a great week, especially lots of Bears news, lots of happy faces. People are smiling walking down Michigan Avenue. They got their chest out. They got smiles. They're wearing Bears gear.
You know, we don't get political on this show, but this reminds me of 2008 when there was a certain president elected from Chicago, and all I saw all over the place was the signs that said hope.
Yeah.
This is the first time I can say as a Bears fan I have hope.
Hope is revived.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, this pretty much set everyone's fandom back into being a Bears fan because for a long time we were questioning, should we be Bears fans?
That's right. Today we celebrate the draft, and we celebrate one of the most exciting drafts we Bears fans have ever seen. Today we're going to talk about the Bears and their brand new quarterback, Justin Fields. We're also going to talk about the Bulls' playoff chances with our guy MIC LOGIK and the Blackhawks limping along into the end of the season. We also touch bases with our Chicago baseball teams, and as always, stirring the pot.
I can't wait to talk about this new quarterback for the Bears. But first, this is The Loop, our Chicago sports roundup where we keep you in the loop.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
Yo, E, what's up first today, brother?
Z, let's do that hockey.
But hey, as they say in hockey, let's do that hockey.
Tell me what's going on over at the Madhouse on Madison and the Chicago Blackhawks.
Unfortunately, the Blackhawks are finishing up their season, and it looks like the Blackhawks are finding ice time for the young players and giving them more experience in the 2021 season because it's a meaningless stretch at this point. Yeah. Exactly what that is. I mean, these guys have really pooped their pants.
No captain.
My captain. Right.
Hey, Kaner was the heart and soul of this team all year. He busted his butt. Unfortunately, this is the learning season for the Blackhawks. Again, you don't have your captain all season. all of a sudden you got to figure out who's gonna rise up. And you're also looking at a big change in that team with what's going on at goaltender.
There's been tons of moves inside and out. The goaltenders that they do have, you don't know if Subban's going to be one of the guys or if it's going to be the Lankinen. Right. I prefer Lankinen.
I do too. I can't tell you that I know a ton about these goalies, but I think when they look at what they have, he was definitely the best of the young guys.
Right. And he is a young guy. So he's going to go up. He's going to get better.
Right.
The issue with the Blackhawks has always been their defense.
Yeah.
And then if you don't have enough great defensive players on all three lines, even if you have someone on the fourth line, it makes such a huge difference because it doesn't put pressure on your goalie so much. And that's what the Blackhawks have been lacking.
This has been a very transitional year for the Blackhawks.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing a lot of players move on, seeing Seabrook
retires.
Seabrook is gone. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to see Duncan Keith coming to the end of his career.
Right.
This is a big transitional year, and I think this is a big reason why we saw a lot of times people questioning, is it time to go ahead and trade Kaner and Taves and get these guys and going? But, I mean, I think you ride that wave until they retire and just keep them as Blackhawks and kind of hopefully – they're the guys that can help the new wave of the team go into the future.
No, I agree. You got to keep Kane, and if hopefully Taves comes back, and
right.
we still don't know what the issue is, but if he's healthy and he's able to play again, you keep those two guys and you rotate, guys that come in, you trade and you draft well. The Blackhawks are known for drafting very well, in getting good players. So again, the Blackhawks continue to struggle with turnovers on the defensive market, which I just alluded to. Mm-hmm. They lost their fourth straight game and just have 5 left to play. 3 versus the Hurricanes, which doesn't look good for us, and 2 against your boys, the traffic. His traffic stop
co-host.
Let me tell you something. Have you seen these jerseys and these uniforms, Mike? These are all black. So the Dallas Stars, they're alternate jerseys.
They're all black, and they have like the neon trimming at the bottom and the numbers.
It's all black, and it's like a neon green trim that's all around the numbers and the legs and all that stuff. What do you think about that?
Do that hockey, man.
To me, I keep talking about the University of Oregon, and it looks like their uniforms with that neon. It looks really cool to me, and it's just black. You talk about traffic signals. Yeah, they're cool. What do you think? You look at the picture.
Thank you.
That's bright. That's real bright.
Oh,
so turn down the screen, please.
Yeah. So I'm showing Mike these, and yeah, he knows. He's like that's for a crosswalk, lady. That's what that is.
Calm down. They're not that bad. They're like the Oregon.
I'd wear
Ducks.
that biking at night.
There you go.
Or you wear it when you're a truck about to knock over these Blackhawks, because that's what's about to happen.
Yeah. So Blackhawks are gonna have to take a page out of the Cubs playbook and wait till next year.
Again, transitional year.
Yeah.
Especially this offseason, it really depends on what happens with Taves. I mean, that's going to be a big thing.
Yeah, that's going to be the chip that tips over everything. So,
all right, y'all. For news on the other side of the building, let's bring in veteran NBA reporter Mike Logic. Mike, what's going on with the one and only Chicago Bulls?
Well, we're still wondering where is Zach LaVine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, where is he, bro? Is he out party with Otto Porter Jr.?
He's wherever he is right now. Wherever he is right now, he's upset because he's ready to get back out on the court. We haven't got an exact date for his return yet, but we should have some more. According to reports, we should have some more clarity this week.
So what is the issue with him? COVID related? What's the real issue? Have you heard anything about what's going on with him?
Unlike you, I do not get inside information.
Oh boy.
They're keeping this under wraps. We're not really getting too much. As far as what I can see on Google, we're not getting too much information. He's out due to the COVID protocols.
Yeah.
That's it. He's missed 10 straight games.
And that's what I'm saying. Does it mean he has COVID? It means that he's around someone that has COVID. Does it mean that one of his parents has COVID? And he's at home?
We don't know.
Like,
We don't know.
Right.
I haven't seen him test positive for COVID. So.
Right. So we just don't know. So tell me, when we look at what's going on with the Bulls, with or without Zach, how are they playing without Zach?
So they've gone. They've won 4 games and they've lost 6 without Zach. I got bad news for you fellas.
Oh, man.
I got bad news for Bulls fans. When they got Vucci Main, Nikola Vucevic, we thought they were going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, we did.
I thought they were a lock to make the playoffs.
Yes.
Right.
I had JR Bang on that podcast, and he was saying Bulls would make the playoffs. Bulls, and I agreed. Bulls were going to make the playoffs.
Wow.
But right now, They are 3 games behind the Washington Wizards for the 10th spot. I don't think the Bulls are making the playoffs, guys, especially when you look at this upcoming disastrous schedule that they have.
Yeah,
this
so
is a tough schedule.
If we look at the schedule that's coming up, they got the Sixers
Tomorrow
on Monday, right?
Yeah, Monday, excuse me.
Right, and then they got the Hornets on Thursday when the podcast comes out, and then they got the Celtics on Friday, and finish the week off with the Pistons.
Now the Pistons, I know you're looking at the Pistons and be like, yeah, that should be an easy win. The Pistons are not an easy win. They're going to fight. They're going to put up a good fight, and it could go either way.
But didn't the Bulls already beat the Celtics without Zach?
Yeah, Jason Tatum, he had a triple-double. However, he only had 14 points in that triple-double.
Okay.
So if you hold Jason Tatum to 14 points, chances are you're going
gonna
to win that game.
Did he have like 60 this week?
Yeah, Jason Tatum just went off for 60 against the Spurs, where the Celtics won 143 to 140. No notes in front of me, people.
Look at that! Look at that! Look at that!
Oh, you're bragging about it.
So what are your predictions?
That was more
for
for ideal. Like, I don't need notes.
the
So my prediction.
I gotta put that in there.
My prediction, because if we look at the schedule real quick, you already alluded to the Philadelphia
Right.
76ers, Charlotte Hornets, Boston, Detroit, Brooklyn, Toronto, Brooklyn again, and then Milwaukee. I say they go 2-6.
So what are the 2 games they win out of that?
Right.
So I'm thinking that they're going to beat Detroit
Okay.
and they're going to beat Toronto. Now, they could also beat Charlotte, and maybe we'll get lucky and beat either Brooklyn or Milwaukee, but I don't really see it. And this is why I don't have them making the playoffs, sadly. I want to see them in a playing game, but I don't see it, guys.
We talked about it last week, and he said, these guys need the playoff experiences, and I'm like, well, most of these guys won't be here next year.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I'm not talking about they need playoff experience. I'm saying that you got a first year
Coach?
The coach's first year with the team.
Right.
You got a first year GM. You got a first year president. You got a brand new all-star on your team. You revamped your team halfway through the season. You got rid of the stuff that was clogging up your system, right?
Well, just about. We got one more.
You got rid of some dead weight.
You got rid of
We still have
extremely dead weight.
Felicio over there.
Yeah,
still.
but here's the thing: we don't rely on Felicio to actually
do anything.
He might have
numbers.
a lifetime contract with the team.
But you know what I mean? Like he doesn't get to see the floor, so we don't even think out of sight, out of mind. Otto Porter was taking up space on the floor.
Yeah.
Gone.
doing
Haven't
it
heard
very
anything
slowly.
about him. Haven't heard a thing about
Wendell
Otto
was
Porter.
doing the same thing. But now you bring in an all-star, you bring in Daniel Tice, you bring in players that are elevating what you're doing.
And the front court has been very impressive.
Absolutely.
By the way.
Oh, yeah.
Tice.
So
Yeah.
Even Thad,
100%.
Thad Young,
Oh,
Tice.
Yeah.
I mean,
Magic.
Thad has been good all
That's
season
what I'm
long.
saying. I don't expect them to do anything in the playoffs, but I think for a group it's their first run, I think it shows a lot of improvement. I think it shows a lot of faith in the young players actually like buying into what Billy Donovan is doing. And I think just to show that out in the first year, what you do now is you put pressure on the team and you have expectations going into next season. If you fail to make the playoffs, your goal next season is just to make the playoffs. If you make the playoffs this year, your goal next season is to move on in the playoffs and not just make the playoffs. You shouldn't be happy with just making the playoffs.
Agreed. They should not be happy making the playoffs. Now, watching this Bulls team, there's no way to make the playoffs.
That's all well and good, but Mike, see if do you agree that it would be a good thing for them to make the playoffs this year?
Yeah, any type of playoff experience is good, especially for Patrick Williams, Kobe White, your young star, even Zach LaVine, who
Right.
doesn't have any playoff experience.
No, he doesn't have any playoffs.
Okay,
So
so
what does it? How does it benefit them? Is the question. Got playoff experience?
Playoff experience, being in those situations, it's just a different game.
But if they can't handle the regular
and
season.
things are
But
on the line,
it doesn't matter. Being in the playoffs, you still have that experience. Were you happy that? Would put it this way: at the end of last season, would you have been disappointed in seeing the White Sox not make the playoffs, knowing how good they were, knowing that they had potential? Was it a good thing for the White Sox?
Kind of apples and oranges because the White Sox were good all season, and if they didn't make the playoffs, that's a disappointment.
But they were expected to be good. So what you do?
The Bulls are not expected to be good at all.
The Bulls are expected to be good with Zach LaVine and
Now that
Gucci
you got the trade, but
that's my point. Right now, those are the players in your roster. So that is a team that is expected to make the playoffs.
and then also, if you make the playoffs, you know that you're headed in the right direction.
that's
there's
step
no
one.
There's no second guessing about that.
Right.
Right now, we don't really know how good the Bulls are going to be next year. We have no idea.
We don't, but can we all agree they're going in the right direction?
Yes.
I think they're going in the right direction, but again, here's the thing: them making the playoffs or they're not making the playoffs. What does it mean? What it means is that they're going to draft between 10 and 20, whether they make it or not. And I made that point before. So unless you're drafting 1, 2, or 3, and most of the time it's not even that high, what's the difference between 10 and 20? Who cares?
And they're not even going to get a pick in the
this
first
year.
round.
No, not
because
this year.
of the trade. So who the hell cares? Who cares?
But you want that playoff experience.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's
more
more valuable, especially knowing you don't have a first-round pick, to get that experience under your belt because, like I said, pressure. Now you put pressure on yourself. We were a playoff team last year.
Okay.
We better be a playoff team this year, and we better advance in the playoffs that year.
I disagree with you. These guys, most of these guys won't be here next year. So what difference
Who's not going to be here next year? Your core players are going to be here next year.
With the core players, I'm talking about most of the bench is gone.
Who cares about that? I don't.
The bench wins games. The bench wins playoff games. Let's be honest. Without the bench, no one's going to win a playoff game.
And that's fine, but you can still, once you build up your starting rotation and know, okay, this is for sure who's going to.
We don't have a sure starting rotation.
Tell me
who plays point guard for the Bulls.
Tell me what significant player is not going to be back next season.
That's going to be a big hole that they're going to have to fill.
That's what I'm saying. This year we don't have a point guard.
No, and I'm done with. Ideal's calling Thomas Sadaransky no mas Tomas, which is genius.
That is,
but I'm done with Tomas. I like Tomas. And I threw a lot of roses at him during the On That podcast this season, but I've seen enough.
Yes,
big enough sample.
That feeds directly into my point. What significant player are you going to lose next year that's on the roster this year? Tell me what player that is.
Significant? Probably marketing.
Marketing, yeah.
But both of you have sat here and told me, you keep telling me, Larry.
Oh my God. Larry.
And you've been crapping on marketing forever.
Yeah,
right.
No, he's gone. That's fine with me.
And that's my point, is that your core, the players who will be here next year, are the ones that have significant minutes. So why wouldn't you want them in the playoffs?
Your core is Kobe. Your core is Pat. Your core is Zach. Your core is Vucci.
That's 4.
Right.
So got no point guard.
No, yeah, and that's what they have to address, and we're hoping that they do.
But you have to,
and then you have no bench, and I got to address your entire bench.
No matter
besides
what,
Daniel Tice, who do you got?
You have to figure out your point guard,
and they have to sign Daniel Tice. They have to give Daniel Tice a big bag. Daniel Tice has played himself into a nice contract.
That's what I'm saying.
100%.
But you have no bench.
But that's what I'm saying is that you're gonna, no matter what happens, if you're gonna have to replenish your bench, it doesn't matter.
And they might have to get rid of Thad.
They might, right, because of the money.
To create space,
right.
Yes.
Right, but and either way, number one, you're going to have to get a point guard.
So it makes no sense to play in the playoffs if these guys are not going to be together next year.
But they are.
Because it doesn't
There's
hurt.
no chemistry.
It doesn't hurt.
Your core, the draft pick does not matter.
I'm not saying the draft pick because we don't have a draft pick this year.
So your core... why wouldn't you want them to get into the playoffs?
And then give yourself a chance to win that playing game.
No, you're not going to win a playing game. Let's be honest.
Give yourself a chance.
They won't win a game
just
in
like
the playing game.
Football is any given Sunday.
No, not basketball.
In a playing game, yes. In the grand scheme of who's going to win the championship,
no chance
absolutely
at all.
not.
No.
But again, what I'm saying is that your core is going to be here next year. Who is your core? The 4 that Mike mentioned.
And Zach's been missing so much significant time to gel with these new players. We haven't even seen Troy Brown. He's been injured.
Right.
You know, that time that Vucci and Zach could have had to gel together.
Yes.
We've missed out on.
Right.
So let's say they get that playing game, all right? We don't know what Zach and Vucci are going to do. They've been playing really well. Zach's put up 26, 27 points per game. Vucci, 21 points per game.
And I don't think we're fooling anyone in thinking that they're going to have a significant chance to go up in the playoffs.
Right.
But for your...
They could win that playing game.
Right. For your brand new GM, for your brand new head coach, for your brand new number 4 overall pick, and your brand new all-star, that's a big step. That's step 1. You have to have high expectations early and move on.
And I agree with your skepticism, Z.
Yeah.
I agree with it, but you still got to give yourself the chance.
Absolutely.
I know what you're saying, but the only people that's going to benefit is the core 4.
And that's what
we're concerned about. We're concerned about
the
that
only
core
players
4.
I'm concerned about
These
are
guys
the core players.
They haven't played together all year.
Bench?
Let's put
Who
it
cares about the stupid bench? I don't care about the bench.
Well, you're talking about winning. And you only win with a bench. You only win with a good bench.
And that's
but
and
those
that's
are replacement
fine, but you're
players.
going to have to replenish them next year, whether you make the playoffs or not. You making the playoffs this year is insignificant in whether or not you're going to have to make sure that you're number one going to get a point guard and number two going to shore up your bench. That is insignificant to that. So what is
and you
got to
find a way to re-sign Tice if you think he's going to be a big part of your squad.
That has to be signed. He has to be signed.
100%.
Now, who would you rather keep, Tice or Thad?
Ooh.
I would keep Tice.
I would keep
Thad.
Tice.
Thad is going to be maybe 35. He's going to be 35.
Yeah.
Tice is 28.
And that's what I'm saying. You got Tice, and Tice is going into his prime. And Tice has been a guy who's been good for Boston, but he's been under the radar, in my opinion. You don't hear about
He's got a much bigger role here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's proven that the kid can play.
Oh, yes, definitely.
And he's tough. He's tough, man. He's a guy that I said before. He fits in certain teams where you're just like, yeah, that's that grimy dude right there. Like he's gonna sit there and you're gonna walk away. You know, you can always tell a white dude with a fade is gonna give you an elbow at one point.
Now I wasn't here, and I want to bring it up real quick. I wasn't here to talk about the Denzel Valentine shot against the Miami Heat.
Oh man!
Can you guys just give me a recap of how that went? Because I heard the podcast. I just wish I was here for it,
dude. This dude gets the ball, dribbles, takes 2 steps past half court, and shoots a air ball.
You big dummy.
What was he thinking?
I have no. And I was telling him, I'm like, you call a timeout and you put his ass at the end of the bench, and guess what? Go wash my cars. Go wash everybody's cars.
Because I've supported Denzel Valentine on that podcast for the past couple seasons.
Why?
Because he can play. He can play.
He's very streaky.
He's a very good passer. He can handle the ball. He's got one of the best floaters on the team. One of the better floaters in the Eastern Conference.
If he stays inside the 3-point line, okay. But that dude cannot shoot the three.
He can shoot the three. He can't shoot like you can't shoot from the other field or the other court three.
Yeah.
You can't do that one.
Yeah.
You can't do the
He's shooting from the other end zone.
My prediction: he's going to be a good player in this league for the next, I don't know, 9-10 years.
Really?
How long has he been in the league already though?
It's been like 4
or
seasons
5,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah. Remember he was the G League champ.
Yeah. And so was
the summer league champ.
So was a 3.
So maybe more like 8 or 9 seasons. I think he still has some good basketball in him.
Oh, I think
he's
so,
young,
too.
but he's injury prone. That's the number one.
Well,
thing.
the other thing too is that he looks like Bert from Bert and Ernie.
Yeah.
And he made a terrible rap album.
Yes, he did. All right, let's turn it over to veteran Chicago Fire reporter Big-Z. Z, take it away.
That's right. So the Chicago Fire are continuing the tradition of Chicago teams by losing. All right. So Fabio helped the Red Bulls of New York overcome a strained first half. Sent up Christian Caceres Jr. in the opener 47th minute. He beat the defender on the right-hand side of the penalty area and squared back a low cross, or the Venezuelan midfielder powered home for a 1-0 advantage. You get all that?
Yeah, let's do that soccer.
Let's kick it.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be a quiet segment by myself here.
You're doing great.
No, thank you. All right, so the Red Bulls doubled their lead in the 64th minute when Fabio headed and clipped a Sean Davis ball towards the penalty shot. Caden Clark ran into the cushion setup, volleying home for a 2-0 lead. Let's just put it this way, man. The Chicago Fire are pretty much unmanned against all these great teams in the soccer league, in the MLS league. We're short about 3 players.
So it sounds like the players for the Chicago Fire could have used a Red Bull. Hey.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, yeah, the Chicago Fire will play again next week.
Oh, good.
Oh, goody.
Oh, boy. So, yeah, they play next Saturday, just so in case MIC LOGIK wants to watch a game.
Putting it in my calendar right now.
That's
dude.
right. May 8th. They play at noon, so right when you wake up. They play Philadelphia, man.
There you go.
It's
There
in
you go.
there. I got it.
What team is Philadelphia? The Revolution?
The Union. No, the Union.
Yeah. I mean,
No, New England Revolution.
I mean,
Philadelphia Union.
I mean, I think I was kind of close in theory.
Well, they're
'Cause they do love
neighboring
that
cities.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
neighboring cities.
Well, they kind of like that. Philly has a
A
theme.
patriotic
Yes,
thing. Yeah.
Is there an LA Galaxy?
Yeah.
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 All right, I got one soccer team other than the Chicago Fire that I know.
We also got the Red Bulls.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're having a lot of fun here, but we'll be right back up with 3 up and 3 down after a quick word from Anchor.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
Welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fans Podcast with E-Roc, Big-Z, and MIC LOGIK.
Yeah.
It's time to touch bases with our baseball. This is 3 up and 3 down.
I think I'll perplex him with my slow ball.
1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
Z, what's going on the south side?
White Sox! White Sox! Go, go, White Sox!
Southside, the White Sox, they took a beating today against the Cleveland 5-0. Jeez. All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. We lost Lou Bob. We don't know how long. He injured his hip running a single in the first inning of Sunday's game against Cleveland. He had to leave the game. Hopefully a speedy recovery. This is not good news, man.
No, hips are no fun.
Hips don't lie.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
Not your hip, not my hip.
Nope. Nope.
Shakira.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, the hip, that is a very under the radar injury to me because people think knee, elbow, shoulder.
Yeah.
People, I think a lot of times, especially in baseball, underestimate how painful hip pain can be.
I was debilitating.
Yeah, it's completely, it's awful.
He's had his hip redone. I've had.
You're an expert on this.
Yeah, I've had my stuff reconstructed as well. It is no joke.
No.
Especially if you tear your labrum, or if you have to have your femur reshaped, which I did. He had to get it completely redone.
Yeah,
he's a bionic man over here. I mean, they're no joke. So Lou Bob is out. We don't know the extent of it. As soon as we know, we'll post it on the Facebook page for you guys to know. But this is what's killing me. He's out. Garrett Crochet's down for a 10-day. Adam Engel still don't know news on when he's coming back. Jace Fry, Eloy Jimenez, Ryan Burr, and big arm Jimmy Cordero, who doesn't like to wear sleeves, is out too.
But this is what I told you before, is that when you have some of your big stars injured and they come back halfway through the season, it's almost like adding a free agent.
It is an acquisition, right? Yeah.
You know?
Oh, on some Bears-related news, the White Sox were the first one to post a jersey for Mr. Fields.
Yeah, okay.
Well, just wanted to throw that in.
You just like bragging.
I do. All right, so Fields was also on Wadon Sylvie, and they asked him, are you Cubs or Sox?
We're going to need him to pick a team.
He goes, I'm going with the White Cubs.
Yeah.
So he likes Rizzo. He likes Ian Happ.
I don't know if that took that as a racist comment or what.
No, of course not.
We got a couple white guys on our team,
He was just
too.
splitting it in half, but I'm going to need him to make up his damn mind.
Right, you got to be on one side or the other.
Yeah, we talk about on this show.
We know who Derrick Rose likes.
And that's
right.
Yeah. And there's no, well, he's also from Chicago. You know, I'm gonna bring up something a little bit later. We're gonna talk about Derrick Rose.
You do that.
All right, so Tim Anderson's been playing out of his mind since he come back off the DL, and just like the Cubs had their leadoff man, and as he went, Dexter Fowler, as he went, the Cubs went. So Tim Anderson hit a grand slam yesterday, put the White Sox into the winning category.
Yeah, look, Tim is back and he's whacking the ball, and he's whacking that ball out of the park. So, I mean, I'm glad he's back. One of the most dynamic, exciting players. And, we've really, like I said before, we've seen him come out of his shell in the last couple of years.
Definitely.
And it's great to see him back.
Yeah.
Way to go, Timmy.
There we go. Good news. Carlitos, Carlitos way. Rodon has
Carlos?
Yes, right. 4-0. His ERA is .40.
Wow.
In 25 innings, he has 36 strikeouts and 9 walks. This kid is dominating after being released, after getting overused by Ricky Renteria, and his wife was ranting on, dogging the White Sox.
Another player whose talent was never in question. It's all about health.
Yep.
And
It was.
availability. Rodon, excellent pitcher.
What they say,
when healthy.
the most important ability is availability.
Always.
Right?
There you go. Yeah.
So now I equated him to a couple of different players in the past. And I want to say Lowry was one of them, wasn't he?
You did.
Because a guy that you could see has a lot of potential but cannot stay healthy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's the thing. I brought up Kevin White just because another guy who we never even really saw. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the problem, is that and sometimes these guys just need a chance. Because you remember Rex Grossman kind of went through something similar too. He kept breaking his ankle. Like for 3 years in a row in the preseason, he would get his cleat stuck and he broke his ankle. Then finally came back, and what happened? It was the year they went to the Super Bowl. So sometimes guys just need a chance.
And he still might have his best baseball in front of him.
Absolutely.
He's only 28.
Yeah.
He's super young. All right, next up for the White Sox, pesky Reds who just walked off the Cubs today on Sunday.
Yeah. That was not fun.
That was not fun because you know what? Castellanos, who's on the Reds now, who I wish we could have signed, and I wish either we did or you did, signed him. He is a Central Division killer. Doesn't matter what league he's in. He kills the teams.
Again, I talked about it before. He's one of these guys that unless you are in the Central Division, you don't know who the hell
he went 5 for 5 and again also got hit by a pitch.
Yeah.
Just a killer.
Little pain in the ass, Nicky.
Little Nicky?
Yeah, that's where I was going with that. Oh, man, he torched us.
Yeah. And they ended up winning. I mean, hey, you told me I should change the game when it was like 8-12.
Yeah,
and the Cubs came back. Ian Happ actually got busted up pretty good.
Oh, that was disgusting.
Yeah. So here's the thing, though. Like, we can talk about the Cubs, but I'm going to be completely honest with you. There were some good games. There were some bad games.
Oh, yeah?
There were some home runs. But I really have no focus on what the Cubs are doing right now. I am way too geeked, and I'm ready to talk about Justin Fields. But I will say this.
Kris Bryant smashing the ball.
Hey, man, I don't have a dump button.
Chris Bryant is smashing the ball. And that's what I said. I'm happy for everything that happened. But guess what? Baseball will be there.
I'm
next
happy
week.
for you. I'm going to let you finish.
Baseball was there. Baseball
but I got to get to Justin Fields.
But we got to talk about Justin Fields. But I will say one thing.
I don't have a dump button.
That's okay. Garrett, man. Amir Garrett can suck. Look, let me tell you something. This guy needs to go back to where he came from. Why he's always out there starting fights?
Who is Amir Garrett?
This is just
Amir
Garrett. This is just a dude. He's a pitcher. He likes to instigate. He's not even a good pitcher. His ERA is like 15, but he likes to talk a lot of smack. And
this is the same guy who started a fight last week, right?
He struck out Rizzo, and then he was making all these demonstrative gestures, and Javi got heated up, and Javi popped up and just flew over the rail and just started walking up. He actually came out, and Javi was so heated about that. He came up and he said something like, I don't care if you're a linebacker or a tight end in the NFL. I ain't scared of nobody. And Javi was heated. Now, tell me that's not Latino blood right there.
Oh, that is. That's boiling. That's boiling, man. You get a Latino riled up, that blood boils. You can see steam coming out of the ears just like in the cartoons, man.
I've heard and seen.
Mike, tell me, what did you think about Javi stepping up for Rizzo?
I mean, Javi's got a lot of love for his teammates.
Oh, yeah.
I have no problem when you have your teammates back. Because
it's supposed to be that way.
You know, when you're in the trenches, you want that guy in there with you.
Exactly. All right, everybody, let's take a pause for the cause and hear a quick word about our friends at Grit Clothing Company.
I think I'll perplex him with my slow ball.
1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride, so do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15.
For 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
Welcome back to the TCSF podcast with E-Roc and Big-Z. And today's guest, co-host Mike Logic.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Once again,
my pleasure.
It is time for 3 and Out.
Hey, man, I got a lot more than 3 today.
Oh, do you?
I do.
That's all right. Guys, do the Bears actually have a have a quarterback this year? Like, this is great. I couldn't even read this. We have a quarterback.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a quarterback. The Bears moved up 9 spots to make the selection, trading with the New York Giants. In exchange, the Bears gave up their number 20 pick and a 5th-round pick in 2021, along with the 2022 first-round pick and a 4th-round pick in next year's draft.
It's a lot.
So, the Bears drafted Justin Fields, my boy.
You guys should see the smile on his face
It's
as he says this.
Yeah, there's tons of smiles over here. Tons of smiles going around.
Right here, before we get into all of that,
Okay.
this is what we saw as areas of need for the Bears.
Yeah, so we talked about it last week where we needed offense, and this included getting a quarterback, which we addressed, a wide receiver. Did we address that?
We did.
We did address that. We needed a tackle to protect our quarterback. Did we address that?
Dos, please.
Oh, perfect. Hey, defense. We need a quarterback. Did we address that?
Uno, por favor.
Oh, look at that.
Check.
Look at this. We've been dogging Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy for the last year.
Some of us been dogging.
I've been dogging him.
I've been telling you because I'm the level-headed one. The loud one is the level-headed one. Can you figure that out? Because I says, yes, good, yes, bad. Again, before this draft, we gave him a hard time about Mitch Trubisky.
We did.
And the problem is that...
Rightly so.
And rightly so. Now, I'm not defending that.
Okay.
But sometimes your A's and B's look terrible, or that F brings those A's and B's down.
It brings down your average. It brings down your average. Yeah, I get that.
Right. So he's had a bunch of good players.
Oh,
and
he's hit
good signings.
He's hit very well, especially in the lower rounds.
Roquan Smith is a first-round pick.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
No,
like, he's done well with what he's used his first-round pick for. Trubisky and Kevin White, no good.
Right.
Leonard Floyd is a very solid NFL player. Your 2 picks went to Khalil Mack, Roquan Smith. So you have done well in the first round.
Yeah.
I just want to put that out there.
Problem is Leonard Floyd's not on this team any longer.
He's still, again, that was the other player that I talked about.
Yes,
a guy that showed a lot of promise, was injured.
I agree with you.
And that's exactly Lauri Markkanen. That's exactly Carlos Rodon. Now he's getting his second chance in the NFL, and he's taking advantage of it. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Right, Markkanen will go to the Spurs next season and
kill.
Will make a star.
Agreed.
But that's what I'm saying is that he was replaced by Vooch, who was just a much better player right now.
Yeah.
But the point being is that sometimes these guys just need that second chance.
Right.
Sometimes you have a good player. You were drafted early for a reason, so they're not all bust.
No.
So, Mike, do me a favor. Break down the Bears draft picks in the 2021 draft.
All right, round 1, the number 11 overall pick that we got from the Giants. And when I say we, I mean Chicago Bears fans. Justin Fields, QB out of Ohio State.
Can I just say right now,
please,
that I predicted that the Bears would draft Justin Fields?
True story. True story.
This is a fact. Number one, I'm going to tell you, I've been following this kid since his high school career. He was on a show called QB1, I think Under the Lights or something like that on Netflix. I followed his career. I saw when he originally picked to go to Georgia.
Okay.
He ended up transferring to Ohio State.
Right.
And when we're getting ready to do...
Why did he transfer?
Because he wasn't going to be able to start because there was already a starter there.
Jake Fromm.
Yeah, Jake Fromm.
What is Jake Fromm doing?
State Farm.
Jake Fromm, State Farm.
Is that what that kid's doing now? He's working for State Farm?
He's doing something.
Is he in the NFL?
Not in the NFL.
He's not?
No, he's not.
Well,
wow.
He's not on the field if he is.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think he was drafted as like a backup or something like that. But he had to... at the time,
he was their guy. He was their guy.
He was the guy to start there. So he transfers to Ohio State. But here's the thing. When we get ready to do our graphics, I make a template. So I just happened to the graphic that we made for last week's show. I did a draft graphic, our flyer, right?
Okay.
I put Justin Fields, I put Mond, and I put Trey Lance on there. It was just 3 random players.
Yep.
When I made our graphic for whoever we were going to pick, I just randomly picked Justin Fields. It was the first graphic that I had there. I put it all together. I says, hey, guys, look at this. For whoever we draft, this is what it's going to look like.
Right.
This is like, 2 hours before the draft?
It was a good choice.
Yeah.
And it came true. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I am undefeated. I am the winner.
The Oracle.
Yeah, like where's this crystal ball at, man? Because we need it for the other teams because they suck right now between the Bulls, the Blackhawks, and the Fire. Jeez.
All right, so round 2, the Bears move up. They get the number 39th pick from the Panthers, and they draft the offensive tackle out of Oklahoma State, Tevin Jenkins, and I'm excited about this pick as well.
Great. Yeah. Another great pick.
That's right.
Who else did they pick?
Round 5 from the Panthers, 151 overall. Thank you, Eddie. Larry Borum.
Borum.
Let me try that again.
Larry Borum.
Round 5, 151 overall from the Panthers. The Bears selected Larry Borum, from the offensive tackle from Missouri.
This kid right here, what I will say about these 2 picks.
Yeah.
The person who I saw was most excited about this was Tariq Cohen. He took to Twitter, and what he put is that when they drafted Tevin Jenkins, what did he put? Hog. Then when they drafted Larry Borum, what did he put? Hogs. He's got a picture of each player, and just his caption was just hogs on Twitter. This dude, you could stack up about 7 Tariq Cohens, mash them all together like Play-Doh, and you might get one of these dudes. That's how big they are. So you know he's excited.
Because he's going to find these little slivers of holes to sneak through. That's why.
Jenkins is 6'6", 320, big, nasty.
He's a monster.
So, little tidbit on Jenkins. He played 4 seasons at Oklahoma State. His pass blocking snaps were 1,129.
Yeah.
Out of those snaps, 2 sacks allowed. Two
sacks allowed out of all of these snaps that he played on
4
offense.
years.
I mean,
4 years.
This is so. What you're talking about? You're talking about a guy who is, like Mike said, he's a hog.
Yeah,
he's a down in the trenches guy, and
he's Billy Bob.
And he is a guy. From what I'm hearing about this guy, now here's the thing: is that last week we were talking a little bit about predictions. So what were you talking about? AJ, was it Schulte?
Yeah, AJ Schulte, how I butchered his name last week. I'm still going to butcher it. From Pro Football Network, got one of the Bears picks correct. So he's tied with you.
Right.
There you go.
So,
but it wasn't Justin Fields. He actually had Fields going at number 3 to San Francisco. And
which
we know that
a lot of people did.
Right.
A lot of people did, but San Fran ended up going with the guy that I thought the Bears should have went after, was Trey Lance.
Yeah. Sunshine
went number 1.
Of course, Sunshine number 1. But
we knew that, and then you had Zach Wilson go to the Jets,
and then Mac. He was supposed to go high too, and he went super low.
So now here's the thing: is that when we're talking about Trey Lance going to the San Francisco 49ers, is that a lot of people were saying that yes, they could have taken Mac Jones, or they could have taken Justin Fields. What they liked about him is that I think what's going to happen is with Shanahan and his offense, he's going to be able to do things with one of these more mobile quarterbacks that other teams wouldn't be able to get out of them because of his scheme, because of his system, because of the way he plays. So now he's got a guy that he's always wanted Jimmy G to be able to turn into, but Jimmy G can't stay healthy, and that's the thing.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, he had Jenkins going to the Bears at 20, and guess what? We still got him. It didn't matter. We didn't matter.
We got him way later.
That's right. I
mean, they hit this one directly on the head.
Yeah.
They thought they would be able to get him at 20. The Bears were not there at 20 anymore because of the trade, but he was still there at 39.
That's crazy, man. That's just crazy.
They moved up, and they got Jenkins.
Round 6, the 217th overall pick, Khalil Herbert, running back, Virginia Tech.
Another running back. It was kind of a weird pick because they do have a lot of running backs on this roster, so a lot of people were left scratching their heads after this pick.
He might end up on the practice squad.
I think with him, what we're more than likely going to see out of him is a lot of special teams. He might be a returner for us.
There we go. We needed that.
Round 6, I really like this pick because of the name.
Yeah.
221st overall pick, Daz Newsome, wide receiver from North Carolina.
Daz Newsome, I hope. What was that college he came from?
Did he play with Trubisky?
No. No.
He played at North Carolina.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, I have one player that I absolutely love from North Carolina.
Trubisky?
No.
Michael Jordan?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mike Logic.
Vince Carter?
No,
right.
No, I don't care about Vince Carter. I'm looking at all the statues. I got a Jordan back there. That's my tunnel vision. And then I got a player from North Carolina who I'm not a big fan of. You can guess that one.
Oh, I think that's Trubisky.
There you go.
There you go.
You got it
Ding,
right
ding,
this
ding, ding, ding.
Something I saw that was really cool about Daz Newsome. His father named him after the rapper Daz Dillinger. If you guys remember the classic album Doggy Style by Snoop Doggy Dogg. Daz was all over that. Great producer, and I love that story. So Daz Newsome, wide receiver from North Carolina. Round 6 we're still in. The 228th overall pick, Thomas Graham Jr., cornerback, Oregon.
So that was the pick that we were talking about when they needed a quarterback. I want to say real quick, I think it's funny that the rapper had to point out the rapper thing, but whatever.
Right. That's just coincidence.
But the Bears went after and they got the cornerback. So you're looking at Bears had number 217, number 221, and number 228. And they went running back, wide receiver, cornerback. These are kind of guys that you're going to hope to plug in wherever you can, because these aren't guys that are supposed to be stars of your team. So these are the sleeper picks. These are the guys that you don't even think about, and they're going to be real sneaky. Who was the last guy that the Bears drafted this year?
Round 7, 250 overall, Kris Tonga, defensive tackle, BYU.
Ooh.
You said Tonga. Tonga.
Yeah.
That is the perfect name for a defensive tackle.
Am I guessing this right? He's Samoan?
Maybe.
Sure. Why not?
Possibly. I don't have that note in front of me. But I do have a question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Was this draft the Ryan Pace draft or the Matt Nagy draft? Matt Nagy got his guy. I love this draft. I think they knocked this draft out of the park. They addressed every single need that they had.
I'm a huge fan of Justin Fields. I will say that the first thing that I thought of while we're watching the draft, you got to remember two things. He was originally slated to be like the number 1 or number 2 overall pick, and last year, take it back about 2 years, it was debatable whether it was going to be him or Trevor Lawrence at the number 1 spot.
Yeah, how happy are you that the Jets decided to take Zach Wilson?
Zach Wilson, I mean, I don't care. Look, I don't care about
the
BYU.
less battle-tested Zach Wilson.
I don't care about BYU quarterbacks, and I'm including Jimmy Mack. Because people love Jimmy Mack, and I'm like, he wasn't even a good quarterback. He just happened to be riding them coattails. I don't care what you say. So I don't care about quarterbacks from BYU. But this is the way that I look at it. You got a guy who is predicted to possibly go number 2 or number 3 overall once it was decided by the league and by everyone else that Trevor Lawrence was going to be the number 1 pick. So you had a guy that was sitting there, and no one took him. And the Chicago Bears managed to find a way to move up and get Justin Fields. This guy has been a star since he was a kid.
Justin Fields, 2-time Graham George Offensive Player of the Year, 2-time Greasy Breeze Quarterback of the Year, 2019 Big Ten Football Championship Game MVP, 2-time First Team All Big Ten. That is a decorated college quarterback.
So what you're saying is we got a quarterback.
Here he comes to Soldiers Field.
Soldiers, and they're gonna have to change the name of the stadium and just take out Soldier and put Justin. I mean, what
Justin Fields
here?
Soldier Fields.
This is the thing that I really, really want you guys to think about.
All right.
All the quarterbacks that we've had in here, you've had some that were decent, some that were mediocre, some that were okay, like Jay Cutler we talked about last week when I told you I was going to, knock you out. But we have never had a quarterback that was as marketable as Justin Fields either.
No.
Because you sit here and we're watching State Farm ads and we see Aaron Rodgers, old guy.
Yep.
And we see Pat Mahomes, young guy.
Yep.
And we see Drew Brees in every commercial. And we see Baker Mayfield in the commercials.
Dak Prescott with his Campbells.
Dak Prescott. And he's in a lot of... We have never, ever in Chicago had a quarterback that everyone rooted for.
Yeah.
Because you root for Dak, he's like, you know what? He looks like he's a good guy. I don't care about the Cowboys. I'm rooting for you as a person. I'm rooting for you as a player. Now you're finally going to have a player that is not a defensive player on the Chicago Bears, where nationally you're going to have someone rooting for him.
It's weird, man, to finally have a franchise quarterback.
An intelligent franchise quarterback, someone who could take a lot of information, comprehend it, and then apply it to what they're doing on the field.
Yeah. And that was one of the things is that, if I'm not mistaken, he had one of the highest IQs of all of the players that came through and did the all the tests. I mean, you don't Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Would you have been as excited if the Bears moved up to get Mac Jones instead of Justin Fields?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
I was
No.
yelling at the TV, this better not be Mac Jones.
Because that would have been Trubisky 2.0.
I think the city might have burned down if they selected Mac Jones. If they moved up to select Mac Jones.
With Justin Fields still there,
Yes.
Yes.
Justin Fields still there. Now,
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody. I'm like, if the Bears are at 20, Mac Jones is still there around
Yeah.
15, 16, and you got to move up a couple spots to get him.
Yeah.
And I understand that.
Right.
But
if
no way.
he's there and Fields is not.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But no way am I passing on Justin Fields to draft Mac Jones.
No.
Now, Mac Jones might have a great, and I hope he does. I hope he has a great career with the Patriots.
Yeah, go over there.
Over there.
Over there. Don't bother us. So what's the expectations for this kid then?
I'm gonna tell you what the
I mean,
expectations
are we
are.
taming it down, or are we raising the bar for this kid?
Expectations really depend on some of their other picks. I'm gonna bring it back to we're gonna talk about Tevin Jenkins.
Okay.
Because this kid right here, this is a dog. This is a down in the trenches guy.
It's a hog.
His quickness, his power, and his fantastic use of hands are some of the main reasons why he only allowed those 2 sacks that you were talking about.
Right.
And what they're saying is that he has a bright future ahead of him at right tackle in the NFL. So if that's true, Justin Fields can be very successful in the NFL.
Agreed.
If he's a turnstile, it doesn't matter.
We've seen this with your boy Jay Cutler. When
Yeah.
he had a good offensive line, he was phenomenal.
So-
and he had good wide receivers too. So like
I will tell you that I have a really good feeling about Jenkins from what I've seen from him. Because remember, like we were talking about a little bit earlier, he was predicted to be available to the Bears at 20, and he lasted all the way to 39 when they picked next. So what that means is that they were able to slide up and get the quarterback and then still get the tackle that they needed. So he came out, Tevin Jenkins, this kid is a quote machine. When they asked him to describe his style of play, he says, "I'm tough. I'm a physical, nasty MF. I'm a dude who does not shy away from hits.
Love
a
it.
Dude who actually wants to get physical, and a dude who wants to bust his ass."
That's who you want on the line.
This is
Yes.
that kid.
That's a Chicago offensive lineman. That's exactly what that is.
I also need to point out, I was saying Soldiers Field just to see if one of you guys would correct me.
Because you said it wrong.
I said it wrong.
I'm trying to get you to say Fields.
Soldier Field.
I know what you said. I was trying to get you to correct the last part. So here's the thing. You have it's hard to find the words to describe how you feel when you're a Chicago Bears fan and you can't. We're at a great age because we can actually enjoy it and we can go out.
It's like we've been inside of this hurricane for the past 20, 30 years.
It's like we were in a quarterback pandemic.
And now you see sunlight and sunshine and birds chirping.
And Justin Fields is a vaccine.
That this guy.
Boom! Undefeated once again.
There you go.
So I really want to talk about this. There's a potential for Justin Fields to be the best quarterback in the NFC North.
A small potential.
Uh-huh.
There is a disgruntled quarterback up north in Green Bay.
Wait, he's still up there? I thought he was doing Jeopardy.
It sounds like his
Is
job's
he,
in
is
jeopardy.
he as good as everybody says he is? Because I watched it and I'm like, don't quit your day job, Aaron. I mean, you're okay. You're a nice little replacement. Every now and then. Type
What is it?
of host.
Dry humor?
He's very dry. He talks like this all the time.
It's monotone, right?
He's very monotone. He's very smart guy. He's entertaining.
My favorite part of him.
Can I see him doing it full time? No.
He doesn't have the voice for it. But my favorite part of him hosting Jeopardy is when they had the final question and one of the contestants says, "Hey, who wanted to kick that field goal?"
Yeah, that was great. That was a great TV moment. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers is very upset with the Green Bay Packers. He does not like the GM at all. He says he's not going to play for the GM. The GM, Brian Gutekunst.
Oh yeah, okay. Okay.
Sure, we'll take your word for it because I'm horrible at that.
You got that beat button ready?
Hey, that's his name.
So, but here
I didn't give it to him.
Here is a crazy thing that I just found out.
Okay.
There is a good reason why Aaron Rodgers is, kind of angry at the Packers organization.
Is this because only quarterbacks with the Packers have only lasted 16 seasons.
Only 16 seasons.
Just saying.
You know, so I'm not sure if it was actually Favre that came out and said it, but there has been a lot of talk about Favre just sitting there in his old grandpa chair with his feet up.
Yeah, he's been doing that.
And his Wranglers and just giggling and laughing at Aaron Rodgers.
Because, it did it simply to him.
Oh, you don't like that too much, do you?
Yeah. Go play for Minnesota and the Jets.
But I think the front office has completely messed this up.
I think so too.
It's their fault.
100%. So here's the thing: the Bucks drafted Kyle Trask this year to back up Brady.
Right.
They told Brady, even though he's only been there a year, Brady, guess what? Just so you know, we're drafting a quarterback. I mean, just so you know,
you got to address the future. That guy's not going to be there forever.
Just so you know,
right?
We're bringing in another guy.
Yeah.
The Bears told Andy Dalton, who has not played a game for the Chicago Bears, they told him, hey, if we can get Justin, he's coming to Chicago.
Who's starting?
Andy Dalton starting.
Andy Dalton starting. They
already told him he's a starter before this happened, this happened.
They already told him he's the starter, and they came out on draft night or the night before and says, yes, hey, Andy's our starter, which he should be.
Again,
you can't. Justin Fields still needs some seasoning.
Andy Dalton's QB 1A, and Justin Fields QB 1B.
And the thing is that it's not like we're talking about the most durable guy anyway.
No, not at all.
But here is the key point of all of this. A guy that's been with their team for 1 year got the respect from the organization to say, hey, we're bringing in another guy. A guy who signed and has not even played a game for your organization. They told you, hey, we're going to bring in another guy. The Green Bay Packers never told their legendary quarterback that they were going to draft Jordan Love.
One of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
And that's from Bears fans.
As an organization, do you have to tell your quarterback that you're drafting a quarterback? It's my organization.
As an organization, when you have one of the best quarterbacks of all time in a city that has legendary quarterbacks, Bart Starr, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, who they have done a disservice to anyway because he's been up there for 16 years, one of the best quarterbacks of all time, and there's a reason why you only have one ring is because your team does not support you.
What you have to do to maintain a great relationship with your star players. Not just your star player, your star players, if it's applicable.
Please do not forget the fact that he spent most of his career in Green Bay with Mike McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
This is a new quarterback.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
This is a brand new regime that's up there now with him. You know, you had Ted Thompson for a long time. I think he's the president, but I mean, the pieces that you had in place.
Now you got Brian Gutekunst.
You like saying that?
I think you just like saying that.
It's his name.
You can't tell me that he shouldn't feel slighted because of that.
As an organization, I'm looking out for my future.
As an organization,
but talk to your best player, one of the greatest players of all time, and let him know.
Drafting a quarterback. I'm not saying, hey, this guy's going to start next year.
It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Tell me that you're drafting the guy who's going to replace me out of respect. Hey, Aaron, we're thinking about drafting Jordan Love. You know. What? It's just respectful, man. It's just flat out respect.
Or you go get Aaron another weapon instead of draft a quarterback
100%
in the first round.
That's where I agree with you.
Right. Because it's either way. I mean, but what I'm saying is that the Bears told a guy who's never played a snap, hey, we're going to draft another quarterback. We said you're QB1. We said it on Twitter, so you know it's official.
Yeah.
You are QB1, but I'm going to draft another guy.
It's like, don't up.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have had their starting quarterback for 1 year who took them to the Super Bowl with a bunch of misfits and won the Super Bowl. Hey, Tommy, we're going to draft another guy. This is eventually, we hope to be a replacement. This dude has been there forever.
In two different situations, too. Tom Brady's 43 years old.
Right.
He understands what's going on.
He's
I'm not going to be playing forever.
Right. He's got one more year, maybe two left.
Aaron Rodgers is a lot younger than Tom Brady.
Aaron Rodgers is
38. I think he's like 38.
Right. But it's
just be transparent. That's it.
And that's the thing.
Simple.
Is that
that's how you remain. That's how you remain with a great relationship.
Aaron Rodgers is essentially the way that their current regime sees Aaron Rodgers as a leftover. He is a leftover from Mike McCarthy. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but I'm saying it's just like history repeating itself. Because they did that 3 times already.
Well, I don't know about Bart. I don't know what happened with Bart Starr. I mean, but I'm saying it happened with Aaron Rodgers. We know that, or with Brett Favre.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's where you're at, man.
All right, any final thoughts on the Bears draft? Your grades on the Bears draft? How about that? Give me your grades.
I think the Bears get an A. I mean, I can't. This has been. Let me tell you something. Aside from the Bears, this has been one of the most entertaining drafts I've ever seen. Before we get out of here real quick, I want to mention there was 3 different quarterbacks who got one of their old college teammates on their team.
Right,
in the draft.
that's right.
So Joe Burrow got his old wide receiver from LSU, Jamar Chase. Tua Tagovailoa.
Dude, that's awesome.
I think
still
so.
got it. You still got it.
Jalen Waddle.
That kid's a beast.
They're both
That
in
kid's a
Miami
beast.
now. So you got 2 there. And then Trevor Lawrence, who got drafted by the Jags, he got his running mate from the national championship from last year. Travis Etienne got drafted by the Jags as well.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Jags.
It's going to be interesting.
You like saying Jags.
Jags and Gutekunst.
There you go.
And another really cool thing, Northwestern actually had a first-round pick. Greg Newsome was drafted in the first round.
Where'd he go?
They had 2. They had Rashawn Slater.
Oh, that's right.
And that's the cool thing. They never had 2
That's right.
NFL First rounders, yes.
Yeah, I mean, this was
So props
by
to
far,
Pats
Pat Fitzgerald. Yeah.
Dude, go Cats.
Go
I mean,
Cats.
you
Go
can't-
Cats.
I'm telling you, front to back, this has been an extremely entertaining draft. As a Bears fan, to see what they were able to pull out of, and considering what we've seen them do, and the disappointments of not being able to get Mahomes, does this make up for it?
It does. Yes, it does.
It does. And to answer Z's question, Rashawn Slater will be blocking for Justin Herbert on the Los Angeles Chargers.
Ooh. Oh, and
That's
your
another great situation.
and your boy Jake Fromm, he's up there with Trubisky in Buffalo.
So Jake is from.
Yeah, Jake is from.
He will never see the field.
Not at all.
Nah. Here's the thing: if Trubisky is going to be playing over you, because Trubisky's the backup. He's got to be the backup.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, because he has the NFL pedigree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, final grade
A.
I'm going to give him an A+ because I thought they addressed, like we talked about, they addressed
All their
every
needs.
single, and they made some pretty ballsy moves moving up.
Yeah.
Trading picks.
Ryan Pace has never shied away from.
Oh no, he's
trading
a
picks or
gambler.
moving.
He's a gambler.
He loves moving. And again, I really don't want to talk about Trubisky on the show ever again.
So we're gonna book in on this one.
But that's why I liked Pace, because he had the balls to move up and get Trubisky in the first place. I like that move, and that right there was the baby step to him moving up, being aggressive, and getting our next quarterback now.
Agreed.
While we're talking about Trubisky, real quick, if Trubisky was drafted, let's say 26th, 27th, instead of the Bears,
No, it's different.
there would be less scrutiny over that pick.
100%.
Agreed.
A lot less
100%.
criticism.
Yeah.
So maybe Mitch didn't get a
fair shake.
Or he got the short end of the stick.
Does this make up for drafting Trubisky?
Yes.
We'll see. I got to see Justin Fields play.
I got faith in Nick. I got faith in kid.
It's just a lot different. It's a lot different.
Because I was on the
feeling this
Trubisky
time.
train as soon as they drafted him. Like there must be a reason that you're taking this guy over the decorated, battle-tested quarterback Deshaun Watson. You didn't even sit down with Deshaun Watson. Now I'm getting fired up at the end of the show.
So we had 2 black quarterbacks, and the Bears took this square jaw white guy. And now
That's
the Bears took,
that's another thing, but that might be another topic for another show.
you know what I mean? Like there's just so many reasons to be happy that the Bears ended up getting their guy.
And it's kind of unbelievable
and that
we
their
got
guy is
him
Justin
at
Fields.
11.
Yeah. And that their guy is Justin Fields, and it's not just Mac. I would have been mad if they got Mac Jones.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a pause for the cause. We'll be right back with Stirring the Pot. Welcome back to the True Chicago Sports Fans podcast with E-Roc and Big-Z.
And Mike Logic.
Oh, yeah, of course.
he's still
of course.
here.
Oh, he's still here.
All right.
Haven't left.
Hey, you know what's up? It's a special day. We got Mike Logic here, so it's going to be a 3-man booth here, and we're going to do
Getting
Stirring the
crowded.
Pot. No, it's all right. It's all right. We got a leg room. So it's that time again, brothers.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. It's time for Stirring the Pot. All right, boys. I'm going to go with something that's a hot dish in
Okay.
the past year and a half.
Uh-huh.
I
And-
like where this is going.
Yeah, because Mike Elijah loves food too. He's a foodie just like us. All right, so the big craze in the past, I would say 18 months, has been quesadilla tacos.
Okay.
So quesadilla. So it's a quesadilla. It's like fried with the juices, the consomme.
Barbacoa.
It's essentially kind of like barbacoa, but yeah, it's a different. But birria, and it's goat. So
real-
people,
the real birria.
real birria is goat. So if you don't know that,
yes.
yeah, it's goat.
Sorry.
So is that a yay or is it an nay on quesadilla tacos?
Go ahead, Mike.
Okay, so I have firsthand experience on this because we were actually doing some. My group was doing some food reviews,
Okay.
going around to certain restaurants. And shout out to Salute Kitchen. They just reopened, or actually they're about to reopen, and they specialize in birria tacos. Birria.
Birria.
It's so hard for me to roll my R's. Birria tacos.
Oh boy.
And I can tell you, especially with the dipping juice, birria tacos are phenomenal when made right.
They're basically, the way I think about them is like a dipped beef.
Yeah, the juice.
Yeah, bro.
The jus.
The juice.
A juice.
Juice. Yeah. Hell yeah. Bro, look at me. You know I want some damn tacos dipped in cheese and juice and all this. Come on, man.
We had a chance today to go.
Well, hey.
Busy.
Okay, so
We got
besides
things to do.
This is the one of the business days.
besides that spot, we have any other spots you want to shout out?
Alejandra's, man. Alejandra's over here in North Lake. That's my boy Louis up there.
They got that?
Yeah, it's very, very good.
All right. I mean, I'm gonna go back to the hood because you're not keeping it in the hood.
Uh-huh.
You're over there on Western and like Palmer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's Birria Stella Jalisco. That's right.
Yeah,
because I know you know where it's at.
You know, I know exactly where it's at.
That's where you
I've
get your
been there.
birria.
I've been there.
And then, if you want to go to the south side, for my south side people in Chicago, Birria Zaragoza.
Okay.
Over there on Pulaski and Archer.
I want to hear
phenomenal.
I want to hear Mike Logic pronounce that.
Birria Zaragoza. Oh boy.
It's not a burp.
Birria Zaragoza.
Hey, that
Close.
wasn't bad.
That was good. That was good.
Woo, baby, yeah.
Clap it up for Birria.
All right, so that's 3 yays.
That's 3 yays. I mean, of course, it's birria.
That's 3 yays. I mean, hey.
And definitely check out my boys at the Salute Kitchen. They got some fire birria.
Where's Salute Kitchen at?
Salute Kitchen, you have to Google it. They changed their address. No, they changed their
Oh,
address.
that's right. I think it's reopening. Yeah,
But
yeah.
they're about to reopen. Trust me, you're going to want to check it out. Tell them Mike Logic sent you.
Ooh, did you get a discount?
Yeah, does it give us anything or just?
I'm hoping so.
Oh, okay.
You're hoping for a free meal.
I'm
I'm never turning down a free meal. But I do this out of the kindness of my heart.
I'm hoping that going over there and trying one of these birria tacos.
Oh, look at you.
Aha.
That's right. Well, you grew up where I grew up, so yeah, you can roll
Can you
your
say
eyes.
I hope
Pero.
they give me. Yeah.
Pero.
I hope it gives me a better feeling than sitting here looking at this giant 2 VCRs taped together laptop that Mike Logic got sitting on my table with a picture of LeBron James on it in our Chicago studio. What is going on over here,
You're
Mike?
just mad my laptop is bigger than yours.
Bro, your laptop looks like a ColecoVision. Why is it so big?
I left this picture on just because I knew one day I'd be sitting here in the studio and I wanted you to have a look at it. This is what Ideal always has to look at. Now you have to look at it.
You know what makes me really mad about it is because I can see behind it. Someone did a nice little graph piece on it.
Tony Patagonia.
So what is going on here? I'd rather look at that.
It's still there. I know it's there.
Yeah, but I'd much rather look at something artistic and, pleasing to look at than this dude, laying on the ground.
Well, after the
Flopping.
Lakers win the title again this year,
Ooh, there's the prediction. I've been waiting for it all show, and it finally came out.
I'll put another picture there with LeBron holding another trophy.
So if the if the Lakers lose, what are you gonna do with that picture?
I mean, well, this one's gonna stay.
No. If the Lakers lose, that's got to come down.
If the Lakers lose,
So now you're telling me what I
If
have
the
to do
Lakers-
with my property.
if the Lakers lose, I think what you do is take this, wrap it on the outside of a birria taco, and dunk it.
Turn
You know what's
turn
funny?
that sumbitch sideways and stick it straight up your candy ass.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson, people, has entered the studio. No, but what's funny is I just did this for one show on the Shy Native Radio.
And
it was a joke.
And it snowballed.
And then it just stuck. I can't get it off my laptop as much as I try.
It's got that cheap Scotch tape on it. Of course, it's stuck.
All right, y'all. Before we go, what you looking at? What are you watching that is not sports?
Well, I'm gonna give it over to Mike over here.
City on a Hill with Kevin Bacon and Aldous Hodge.
That's on my to-do.
Phenomenal show. That's
on mine.
tonight. And I also started watching on HBO Mayor of Easttown with Kate Winslet. It's a murder mystery. She's type of show. She's a detective.
Okay.
You guys definitely want to check it out.
All right, cool. I'll check those out. Well, I've been actually catching up on The Chi. So again, I'm all about Chicago, and I started that series a couple years ago, and I just fell off because I didn't have Showtime anymore. Now that I got Showtime, I'm midway through season 2 already, within a week, and season 3 I think comes out later on in this month and at the end of May.
Okay.
So it's a good show. I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying watching like the scenes that are filmed. You're like, oh my god, that's over here. Oh, that's over here.
It's like when you watch Shameless.
Yeah, Shameless
Yeah.
or any of the Chicago shows, the Chicago PD Fire, whatever. Yeah. So, E, what are you watching?
So I got one thing that I'm going to watch. It just came out on Netflix. It looks really cool. It's called Mitchell versus the Mitchells versus the Machines. It's like this.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like this family, like this
Yes.
functional family. From what I saw from the preview, that it's basically, I think it was in the same style as Spider-Man Into the Universe or the Spider-Verse or whatever. I forget the name of it. We watched that like 150,000 times. So I'm excited about this one. I also watched that show you were talking about on HBO. It's called, I think it was a Comedy Central show. It's called Southside. And it was kind of like I want to say, Southside. It's like
I'm familiar with it. I didn't watch it.
yeah,
But I'm familiar with it.
it was funny. I watched the whole thing. It was only one season, but it was pretty funny. It definitely looked like a YouTube show.
Yeah.
It looked like someone filmed it off of their iPhone, but it was pretty funny. It definitely had its moments. So that's my Chicago related show. But definitely this Mitchells versus the Machines. This looks really cool. I'm excited to watch this one.
I'm telling you, if you can catch City on a Hill on Showtime, that show
Yeah, I'm waiting to
it keeps getting better each week.
I'm waiting till there's enough episodes to stack up where I can spend some time and just binge it.
I'm waiting for
a
it to
bitcher.
show up on someone's Fire Stick. So I'm not trying to pay for that mess.
Understood.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah. All right, y'all. That is it for today. Thank you so much for listening. I want to give a special shout out to our 3-headed monster, the third head, Mike Logic. Tell us what you got going on real quick.
First of all, it's been a lot of fun, fellas. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Just recorded on Sunday, All Net Podcast with Mike Logic and Ideal, Season 2, Episode 10.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of good nuggets in there, a lot of Bulls talk. Some of what we talked about today, but I elaborate a little bit more on the podcast. Check it out, anchor.fm/All Net Podcast. And it's pretty much on every streaming platform now.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's amazing.
Check it out.
Every Tuesday you also got.
And every Tuesday night at 9 p.m., my fam, Shy Native Entertainment, we have our show, Shy Native Radio. It is a hilarious show.
It is.
You can attest. You've listened. It's funny. I took a little bit of a jab at you on it.
Yeah, you did.
But it's all in good fun. It's all love. Come hang out with us 9 to 10 on Facebook. Go to Shy Native Entertainment. On YouTube, go to Ideal Raps, and on Twitter, go to Throw 'em C. 9 p.m. Tuesday night. We will see you there. Interact with us live.
And you also recently made it available in podcast form too.
Yeah, due to someone continue to poke and prod me.
I wonder who it was.
I don't know, man.
The man to the left, Eddie. I appreciate it.
Once again, undefeated, ladies and gentlemen.
I
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
it.
Thank you so much.
It was a great idea, and it's been doing well. The numbers are doing pretty good, and it continues to get better. So I thank you for continuing to push and persuade me to do it.
Did you write the script for him too?
I did.
No,
I did. I did.
But doing the podcast,
Checks in the mail.
but doing both podcasts on that podcast, and then transferring my knowledge to that to
Yeah.
the Shy Native Radio.
Yeah.
It makes editing the Shy Native Radio podcast, which is longer,
Yeah.
a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
check it out.
I'm glad. Look, we're really happy to have you part of our 606 Media family. So we're glad that we're able to grow with you and have you on and have you be involved in our show here.
Exactly.
And I'm really excited to keep working with you, bro.
For sure.
All right, y'all. A big thank you to our sponsors, 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, and Grit Clothing Company. Thank you so much for our new gear. Don't forget to check out gritclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt. Search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 at the checkout for 15% off of your entire order. That's TrueFan15. Get your shirts right now. Again, shout out to today's special guest co-host Mike Logic. The All Net podcast with Mike Logic and Ideal Season 2 Episode 10 is now available. Shout out to Ronesh and shout out to our super producer Jay Soto.
Super duper.
Want to start a podcast or have your show sound as clean as ours? You can find everything you need at jsotomedia.com.
Won't be as talented.
Special shout out to Panic for the beats we played on today's show. Check out paniconthebeat.com for all your Moment merch and gear. Check us out on social media. You can find us at True Chi Fans on Twitter. That's at True CHI Fans on Twitter and on TikTok. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and reach out to us on our email. We want to hear your stirring the pot, your show recommendations, your movies, any ideas you got for us. Shoot us an email. We want to hear from you. Reach us at truechicagosportsfans@gmail.com. All right, y'all. For Big Z and Mike Logic, this is E-Roc. We will see you next week for episode 44. Until then, be good to each other.
For the love of sports.
Yeah!
A few moments later.
You have a lot of incest.
That's real.
Shut your mouth. Lover boy.
Nature versus nurture, Lodge. Nature always wins.
I think he's on steroids.
Hasta luego, amigos. That's all. I shouldn't have had those artichoke poppers.